2011, that inaugural batch of Startmate, it was game-changing to me. Completely changed my life.
I can kind of comfortably say that Propeller wouldn't be here, and our team wouldn't have grown and our business wouldn't have grown without that slingshot that Startmate gave us.
Startmate put a rocket ship into BioScout and took us from a group of engineers building cool tech to a business that is actually having an impact on the future of agriculture.
It really helped us broaden our ambitions for what Enrollo can be.
We actually launched the day before Startmate started, and a lot of our first customers came from there.
Startmate changed the trajectory of our company.
Right from the beginning, where we went to the Blue Mountains for the offsite, I felt personally challenged. I literally jumped off a cliff into a lake.
The biggest thing that Startmate did for Mentor Loop was kind of transition us from that blind optimism that you have when you start a business to really applying some intellectual honesty to the metrics and the way you measure success.
One of my favourite memories from Startmate was the San Fran trip with the Sid 19 cohort and the fellows, and seeing everyone's true colours after a game of werewolves.
I think it's definitely got to be Francis beating Nikki at poker in San Francisco. It's just so good to bring down a giant like Nikki on the poker tables.
I think the thing that will stay with me the most was the other companies in the cohort. To be surrounded by so many inspiring other founders, all going through a similar set of experiences and realizing you weren't alone.
Batco yelling out "huge" at us every single time we did anything, and then quickly following up that huge with, "Now how are you going to 10x that?"
Asking ourselves, WWBD, or what would Batco do?
In particular, Nicky's ability to ask us questions that he knew we didn't know the answers to. Not only did we not know the answer, often we didn't even know what the hell the question meant.
Dean McAvoy, very early on, ripped apart our UX while I sat in a corner and cringed. I realized that the things that you don't want to know are the things that will kill you.
At one point, Nick Crocker referred to Black as the cockroach team, just because we'd been through a whole bunch of intense hurdles, and it appeared as though we were just refusing to die. Looking back on it, I've always been kind of proud of.
We almost definitely wouldn't have raised an investment. Everyone involved with our round was connected with Startmate in some form.
Since finishing Startmate and launching Avira earlier this year, we've helped over 14,000 uteruses.
We wouldn't be anywhere without Startmate. Startmate legitimized us, introduced us to our closest allies, and ultimately lined us up to raise our seed round, which has gotten us to where we are today.
It's only in hindsight really that I see the incredible impact that Startmate had on not just the business, but me as a person, as a founder, as a CEO.
I think that we wouldn't have had the great network that Startmate provides. What other better way to get to know some of the strongest tech leaders in Australia and the US than through this program?
For Heidi and I, it was also wonderful for the relationships, the mentorship, the friendships that we formed.
The sort of friendly competition to keep up with their learnings and their business progress every week.
It's not just the actual 3 months that adds so much value. It's post that 3 months. The network that you have of investors and other founders.
The biggest and best pool of mentors and founders in Australia, New Zealand, extending into Asia and the United States.
You know, to have such a massive group of cheerleaders who only want to see you become the very best version of yourself is an incredible feeling.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Batco, Rachel and Matter for instilling an insane growth mentality in us, but also more importantly, making sure that through that entire period, we were okay.
Nikki, thank you so much for your mentorship and guidance then and now, and thank you for founding Startmate.
So Nick Crocker, Sam Wong, Chris Sharkey was also exceptional, down to earth, and exactly the kind of person that I needed in that moment as well.
Nick and Sam from Blackbird, Rory, Mike, Chris, Ned, Alan and Jindo.
Propeller certainly wouldn't be here without the one and only Mr. Rain Ong, the Signal.
Special mention to Rain, he calls himself the Signal, we call him the Cowboy.
Nikki and Sam, you've been instrumental in our journey during Startmate and definitely since.
For guys like Alan Jones, Hamish Hawthorne, Malcolm Hebblewhite and Matt Cameron, all legends in their own ways.
Big thank you to Nikki, Mike, Ryan, Big Yahoo, David, and the alumni. I've been trying to pay that debt forward for 10 years, and I'm sure I'll be trying to pay it forward for another 10 years.
To all of the mentors that voted for Enroller, thank you for breaking the StartMate rules of the time and letting a bunch of non-technical founders get into the program. We are forever grateful.
To the entire StartMate team, I am always in awe of how you guys get so many things done. You have had a massive, massive impact on the startup ecosystem in Australia and New Zealand, and we need more people like you.